What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Another edition of the Try Football Podcast. Bowl summation review. The line demarcation around the 28th. If you recall last time, our live look-in of Kansas, Arkansas, to the AYP Beautiful State Capital, Blue State, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to my west. D-Berg, what's up?
Yeah, folks, my neck of the woods, feeling like a missed opportunity. It was fairly apparent that the national title would have been teed up for them had they been able to pull out a game. I'm sure we'll talk about in short order. But other than that, weather's doing weird things. Hot and cold, hot and cold. Not really hot, warmer and cold.
Mild and you're cold. You're yes and you're no.
That's right.
In and you're out.
Ken, to my east, what's up?
Largely pretty chilly out here. It is January 11th. I still see a Christmas tree up down on the with lights lit. I hope you get a little bit more. It's usually, what's the line of demarcation there? Is it Martin Luther King Day? We're approaching that very soon here.
Well,
I feel like I've even heard Valentine's Day. Like
What? No way.
mine is up.
Look at that.
For me, the line is clear. It is the garbage company comes the second Saturday in January to get your
Oh,
Christmas
wow.
tree. So therefore, I leave mine up until a few days
The
prior.
second
I
Friday
did
in
not
January.
know that.
So
Second
then you do
Saturday.
this. So you leave the Christmas tree up till the second Friday in January.
Usually
That's good
Thursday. It's coming down tomorrow.
A Thursday, second Thursday in January.
Yep.
As
Just-
synonymous as the third Saturday in October.
It just makes things easier.
Traditions unlike any other.
Yeah. Ken, are you how are you doing? Are you getting ready for? We're right in the middle of award season for you. Any calls for supporting actor nod?
Nothing as of yet. Waiting anxiously, but excited to support my fellow working actors, and you know, everybody's gonna get their flowers. So happy for everybody getting theirs.
I think I saw Sandler was nominated for Best Actor at the SAG Awards.
Ah.
I think it's the only one of the thus far.
Mm-hmm.
But the Academy Award nominees come out in like 2 weeks, so we'll see if he gets one in.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Or Hustle gets Best Picture. That'd be wild. Go out and see Hustle if you haven't seen it. That being said, I haven't yet. So yeah, like we were saying, season's over. Congrats, Georgia. Whatever.
They look pretty good out there, but
I mean,
you did not.
yeah, we'll
I'll
start
say.
there, and then we'll jump back to the 28th. So, I mean, I saw today the viewership
Oh,
numbers
as
by
low as they've been.
quarter hour. I think it peaked around 20.5 million, and you could see just I think 19, 18, 15. It was down to like 10 million, like 10 million at the very end.
You know, it was very nice of them starting the game at 7:45. That was a pleasant surprise.
Yep.
Yeah, imagine if that game started at 9.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They would have. Oh man, they would have not. That would have been bad. I mean, it was over by 9, so that was nice.
Over by it felt like 8:30.
Yeah, I don't want to say I took issue, but I guess I was annoyed that night and the next day prior at just people firing shots at TCU not belonging there, on and on and on.
Roth.
Roth, Devaney, Cheyenne, just so much low-hanging fruit on a one game.
If they didn't belong there, who did?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Like people, like I didn't say this to anybody, but like people were shooting their mouth off, Penn State fans, and like I want to tell Devaney, Michigan ran you over and TCU did this because he was using transitive property. I just stayed out of it.
It's
like-
love the good transitive.
He's using transitive. I'm saying, I'm just like, you know, it'll all be over in a few hours. Just let him.
Some
Right.
people just can't,
What does,
mature mentally past 12 years old.
I was like, what are we doing? They just beat Michigan in all timer, which we'll get to. But
Yep.
yeah, they had an off night.
That doesn't change the fact of who deserved to be there and who didn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
They absolutely deserved it. Did
You
they?
know, you could say who could have done better, but we'll never know because they didn't earn the right to play Georgia.
Exactly.
TCU did.
And I can't stand them.
TCU actually did it. The other teams may have fared better and definitely did fare better. Tennessee fared better against Georgia, that's for sure.
Missouri,
Missouri.
Missouri definitely did fare better against Georgia. That's for
Austin P. Like,
But-
yeah,
Go Pete.
none of those other teams deserve to play Georgia because TCU earned it.
And same thing, tangential to the polls.
Did you see who had Penn State? Which coach had Penn State the lowest in their poll?
Pat Narduzzi.
He did. Very good.
Shocker there.
Shocker.
The cat and mouse game continues, I suppose.
It wasn't laughably bad, but he did have them number 9. Nobody else had them lower than 8.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
that's
I'm just saying who did have them the lowest. It was.
that is a fact. Yes,
It is the fact
Yeah.
that Narduzzi did have them the lowest.
that's all you're saying.
Most had them at 7. A couple had them at 8. Narduzzi is the only one that had them at 9.
Who would he have had in front of them? That Washington?
I think he had Tennessee. Let me see here.
I don't think it's that hard to get up to it. To get to 9. I thought you were going to say like 12 or 13. That would.
No. He had. Let's see here.
Or if he put him behind Pitt.
He did not put him behind Pitt. He had Pitt in the top 20 though. That's for sure. I think he might have had him top 15.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was saying we beat a top 20 team. Or top
I mean, you have top 4. Tennessee definitely is up there.
Yeah, he had he had Washington up there. He had Clemson at number 7. He did have Clemson.
Oh, geez. Well,
He had Clemson at number 7.
Well, in his
that was
defense,
that's
he
the,
might have fell asleep during the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Actually, he was. You know what? He was traveling back from El Paso.
No, he missed it. He didn't
He
have
missed
the Wi-Fi on the plane. Conversely, who had Penn State the highest?
James Franklin.
No. James Franklin had him at number 7.
Kyle Whittingham.
No.
Either-
Leipold had him the highest.
Respect.
Leipold, respect earned from the 2019 game.
He's angling already. He can see
SOS from
next
his Buffalo
couple
days.
not going up to par with Penn State, and he's gonna say,
he's
"Remember, I
going
put
to be
you guys
next
ahead."
coach. He'll be the next Penn State coach, right?
Yeah.
I'm mostly serious with that.
No, yeah, I could see it.
I think
I
he will
think
be.
it's a few dominoes, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
I guess we'll get. Oh, I want to get. This,
We'll get to a lot today. Today's the season recap ending.
I did want to get this some carousel stuff, but
Yeah. All
that's
right,
that's
let's start it up.
Well, we need to spend, what we need to talk about, 4 bowls.
let's
yeah.
let's highlight some. Dan, how about that comeback by Pitt?
How about it?
I was
Tell me
listening
about it.
to.
Tell me about it.
I've only watched the first quarter and a half, and then I fell asleep. Live consumption of the game was through the Sirius XM Pac-12 network station, and I was probably. That's a natural delay when you stream from your phone. I was a good 5 minutes behind what was happening in real time. So yeah, there's that. And, credit to the guys who played, I suppose. And I became more invested by virtue of listening to it was the UCLA broadcast, obviously. I mean, get the tissues out for them. Holy heck, was that an embarrassment? I know, from listening to Pitt broadcast, they're homers too, but good grief. That was a painful listen. And I think, there's really no momentum to be carried from it because of the hodgepodge of Pitt players. So, but credit to certainly Nick Patty, who I would have I think I even mentioned him, being the starter by October. Somewhat tongue in cheek, but it is definitely a what if. Could they have got back to the ACC title game at least with him? Maybe. I think just his pure mobility, and then obviously what the counter amongst many Pitt fans was, could he have stayed healthy playing the way he did, because he obviously got hurt last year against Michigan State. He got hurt against Tennessee. So it's an interesting what if. Ultimately, I think they would have had a limited ceiling due to the turnover and helter-skelterness from last year. So good job. There's my final thought.
Yeah, it was. I was catching in and out. I was working. I mean, I was at work, but that way. But
Were you getting much done though? Is the question.
no, I was in and out. But
Yeah, I was at work as well, in the office.
then would travel, not travel, but driving home. I did catch the final 2 minutes. I caught more than that, but I did see the end, and it was sweet. I was fired up.
Did what did Narduzzi say? He was like, someone asked him if they were surprised they took him out, and he's like, he threw 4 interceptions. No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, DTR, what seemed like a problem actually turned to Pitt's benefit with the turnovers he did have. But not to say their backup didn't sound like anything to write home about. Who was also a Garbers, I believe. All California quarterbacks required to have a Garbers at some point. Yeah.
Well, great win, nice win.
Great all-timer.
All-timer, getting revenge for the last time they were in the Sun Bowl.
Yeah, infinitely, quite literally
Infinitely
infinitely. I guess in the Stanford game they scored 10 points, I think. They lose that game 14-10 or 14-13, something like that. Against that was the last time they were there, which was 2018 season.
Right.
So
A nice, prestigious bowl win. Sun Bowl, one of the
prestige,
one of the oldest bowls out there. It's if Rose is the granddaddy, that may be the old great step uncle.
Yeah.
Pretty old, pretty prestigious.
Yep. I wanted a parade.
Yeah. AY, what'd you make out of yours? Some fireworks in your game.
Never in doubt.
Yeah, it's a couple of turnovers early, right? Getting down 21-7.
They emptied the
No
sink.
worries.
They emptied the hopper in the first 20 minutes
Yeah.
with their bunch of razzle dazzle, the
Oh, yeah.
fake field goal alignment pass up the seam.
But the big news coming out of the early offseason, coming out of bowl season is who you picked up in the portal. Looks like he's
The Heartman.
The Heartman.
Yeah, thinking playoff now.
Interconference transfer here from Wake to Notre Dame.
That's right.
I believe Wake is on the schedule next year.
Oh, a revenge game. Better be careful.
Multiple next year.
Gotta persuade the Buckner, the countryman Buckner, to stay. My countryman Buckner to stay.
There's revenge everywhere. Wake, Klemp, and Jerkovic. It's just dodging everywhere. But first, 15, 20 minutes, the Rat came out on fire.
Oh yeah.
The heater continued.
Yeah, they had one tight end, that Adkins guy. He looked like a big H back. He was amazing. Like Chris Cooley out there? Was that his name?
Chris Cooley, 47.
Yeah.
The Edskins.
Former commie.
Oh
Yeah. But then Buckner was fine. I think the best thing with this is Buckner got like a full game in, and it had everything we've seen over the last year and a half of him. Just very high highs and some just what are you doing lows. Obviously the turning point when possible turning point was that 100-yard pick six, but to their credit, they ran the ball back down the field and third and whatever to Mitchell Evans and got out there with the win. Look, I wasn't super invested, but once I saw just all the Scar fans popping their chest, and just it reminded me of Stanford Steve. He said like a month ago. He even said he's like, look, I'm picking Notre Dame in this game, but you South Carolina fans, like, act like you've been there before. I get it, you're prideful, but you don't have to celebrate every win like it's the Super Bowl.
Right.
He was even kind of glad. I was like, you know what, you're right. Like, just whatever.
They are a feisty fan base.
Yeah, I get it. They're feeling themselves after the last two W's. But back down to earth now. Will be irrelevant for the foreseeable future. Enjoy that. But yeah, Hartman coming in, excited for the offseason. I did added a Virginia Tech transfer receiver. That's much needed. Pretty much looking good for next year besides the D line. With Jason Ioniola not coming back, possibly gone. Then we'll see Riley Mills and Justin Ioniola, and we'll see the piece together there. But I don't really believe in this off-season momentum from a bowl game. But this year, sure, I will. So.
I think you're conditioned that way as a Notre Dame fan because you don't win many bowl games.
I definitely think that's part of it, yes. So I'll buy in this year, yeah.
What other games do we have to talk about? We want to talk about that Iowa-Kentucky game. It was remarkable, 21-0. But I forget what the amazing stats were from that game, but he had like 150 yards. Ferris did.
Well, I would say Iowa scoring 21 points was
Yeah.
a special moment. Yeah, that's all I mean, I was mainly watching the K-State Alabama, which was a really interesting. First
quarter?
No, even 29 minutes. Obviously, what I felt was the big switcheroo was K-State had a super long drive, got stopped. I don't know, it was 20 plays, got stopped, and then Alabama was 98 yards, and I think they got the ball back again and got a field goal, maybe? No.
Yeah, and then
it was just a touchdown.
And then K-State went for the onside kick to come out the half.
Yeah. I didn't really think that was necessary.
Bebo also did. Bebo said, that's desperate coaching. We don't need
if it were 28-10 coming out of the half, maybe. I don't even think I saw that play live. Was it even close to being recovered?
No, it was not.
No, they were onto him. They were wise.
They knew. It was coming.
Yeah. So, but yeah, then the talent took over from there. So, good. Like I said, good 29 minutes from the Cats. Yeah. 28 minutes, whatever. But yeah, the guy fell over the H-back for them. I can't remember his name. His name has escaped me, but for K-State. Then Alabama took it from there. Waya went down.
In the it was by one, right?
Yeah, they lost overtime.
Out in that West Bowl.
Yeah. In that Barstool Bowl. They were in that Barstool Bowl, right?
Yeah.
I think probably, maybe I'm overlooking something. The worst bowl game of the year was that in tandem with, it overlapped with Pitt, rather. Also the reason why I couldn't listen to the Pitt game on the ACC Sirius channel. The Maryland NC State game.
Oh.
One touchdown, it seems. I'm scanning to see if there's anything earlier. Like, there's certainly less competitive bowl games, obviously. But I think that was probably the worst.
Well, the LSU game was the worst. So we had the worst bowl blowout yesterday, right? Or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But then LSU against Purdue was also only 2 points behind them.
How long did that game stay on at the tailgate, Ken?
I left before it was the tailgate concluded, but I don't think
Purdue in a weird spot right now. I would say lose their
Yep.
coach, have that happen. lose their quarterback. Who they end up hiring again? The guy from Illinois, right? Is the Illinois defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, weird spot after a little,
You want to talk about?
making the Big Ten championship.
You want to talk about Washington getting a little bit of respect here after
Well, they've had mine since the offseason.
they handled Texas here.
Yeah.
I don't know how some people were putting them ahead of Penn State, and I don't understand it. Not
Washington?
not that postseason poll mean anything, but
Why
No,
don't
I
you
mean-
understand them putting him ahead?
what's that?
Why don't you understand them putting him ahead?
I mean, yeah, who's like
They
who's,
just,
what's-
they
Think
just-
about who they've got the common opponent, and then Washington's got some terrible losses.
well, they had a terrible loss.
who's the like Penn
And
State
the
lost their only
UCLA
2
lost.
real games.
Yeah, but then they've beaten the same teams. They've beaten Utah.
I mean, I think personally, I think they had the better win. I'm obviously in the bag for Washington this year.
That's true.
The win at Oregon was probably
The win at Oregon.
they
They've got
lost
the worst loss.
Washington, yeah, Washington losing to Arizona State is bad.
So they've got the worst loss.
Yep. So what do you value more?
What do you?
That
Yeah.
is the question.
Mhm.
Um,
Florida
no,
State.
I don't think
Florida State,
that's
Oklahoma.
a huge thing.
Yeah. You got Florida
Florida
State, Oklahoma here.
Yeah, Florida State mimicking their season finale performance, it seemed,
Mm-hmm.
against Florida.
Do we want to talk about Tennessee, Roth and Clemson?
That was a weird game. That was Clemson got to like the Tennessee 35 15 bajillion times, to use a Big T metric, but they just could not either miss field goals or they didn't get it on fourth down. That was a very, and then conversely, Tennessee really struggled, I would say, at least for half of their offensive possessions. But they get the win. Pretty convincing. Let's see what the total yards shook out to be. Because
So
Tennessee's some big plays in there too that probably made it.
Are we firing up the Joe Milton Heisman train for next year?
So yeah, it's still outgained by over 100 yards. And they had some. Yeah, I don't know about that now. I was ready to. I was prepared to fire it up, but I think they'll play a couple defenses similar to Clemson's next year, and we'll see if it goes the same way. Clean box score though for him. 19-28, 251, 3 touchdowns, and then ran for 5 yards. I thought he read it. I do remember that 10-yard run there, but no, yeah. So, no, I wouldn't. I mean, Ross should definitely bet on it. They're going to have an interesting offseason.
Here we go. Quick live programming update. On track, and the Chili Bowl is Brew.
I forgot. I forgot it's that time of year.
Last
Is
night.
it always in the same location?
Yep, in Tulsa Expo Center. Last night was just absolute madness, but
I have a good 20 minutes of that on Facebook before.
Abreu's run away and hiding right now in this qualifier. That's good to see.
Maybe we'll get those picks as well at AY. So start actually posting some basketball and Chili Bowl picks.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell
I'll
you
give
what,
them
the other
to you.
funny game was the Pinstripe Bowl.
Oh
Because of
yeah.
how abominable that field was, and then the Shredder was just.
That's
You
true.
know, I think he'll be back, right? Which is crazy because I'm pretty sure he started a Egg Bowl before the pandemic. He did.
He did.
What about Charlie Del Rio dos Santos?
I don't think he got in.
I didn't watch any of that game.
Yeah, that
Maybe-
was a good live streaming because that was during the afternoon. I fired that on at the office. What else do we got here? Anything before we get to Cairns game? So should we go? I guess quick hitter on the the ReliaQuest Bowl, formerly the Outback Bowl. Impressive moose by the
Oh, yeah.
Bulldogs there.
Yeah, good for them.
What was it, 60 yards or something like that? It was quite the long return. And we picked that below 3 though, so I didn't even realize it until it was on, making its rounds on the gambling Twitter, and then of course SVP highlighted it. But other than that, that game was pretty disgusting.
Yeah, I believe we had a pick. That game was pretty gross.
2.5, I think we picked that, Mississippi State. And then the Cotton Bowl just
Yeah,
Absolutely.
wow.
that was just a meltdown.
Yep.
Ugh.
Impressive, nevertheless. For Tulane to pull it out. I will say this is my first talking about the preseason, momentum from bowl games or whatnot. Tulane getting the bump for that win, despite losing. They lose Spears and they're basically their 2 playmakers, which I'm not one to care that much about it, but
Right.
and Watts is the other guy, Deuce Watts. So it's Tyjae Spears and Deuce Watts. Those are their big play guys.
He's the fast one.
How is that a ranked team? Maybe they'll prove me wrong. All-time rat line in that game. By the way.
I took it.
That
I
was
took the cheese. I
USC.
took the cheese. I took the cheese.
USC 1.5 or whatever it was.
Yes,
2.5.
it was. Yeah. 1.5. Yep.
All right, Can, take it away. West Coast trip. West
West Coast trip. Where do you want me to start? Joshua Tree?
Sure.
Spiritual.
You can doing a lot more touristy.
Oh yeah.
Obviously with the Holy Gina,
Friends in tow.
friends in tow. Because I'm trying to think, when you went to the last one, I feel like you didn't do as much touristy.
No, I
activity.
didn't.
I don't remember when you
I
got
was in LA for less than 48 hours. That
That would be why.
Yep.
Nothing's coming to mind. All right, I'll shut up now.
No, not at all. Another cold, rainy, dreary trip out to LA. It seems I bring the weather out there. Bebo was complaining because he said before I got there it was 80 degrees. I get there and it's cold and dreary the rest of the trip. But another, if you haven't made it out there, as I've said before, bucket list trip for any college football fan, I believe. You feel the mystique. Right? With Penn State, they came out. They looked like they knew what they were doing. They're controlling the game. They got, aside from some of the scrambles and the running, right? They got Utah behind the sticks. They got a Utah converted on a 3rd and long though that ended up tying the game at the half. But I still, even before that play, it did seem like Penn State had them at least, probably, 60, 65, 35 in Penn State's favor. Obviously, once the injury happened, things didn't go well for Utah, and Penn State really capitalized from there. But even before, his injury, and then after it, the defense gave up those 2 huge plays, which really turned the game. And then Penn State with with Bryson in there, Bryson Barnes, he wasn't prepared for the exotic looks that Manny was going to dial up there, and Penn State started getting home. Penn State didn't get home and get a sack until the last minute of the second quarter, actually. So, Penn State seemed to overwhelm them a little bit there.
It was right after Herb Street said they have no sacks.
Exactly.
I did see that play.
Yep. Very prescient of Herb Street there. But again, a satisfying victory. It wasn't a classic by any means. Definitely not.
It was shaping up to be. I know you think you just laid out
well,
the percentages.
I know it was shaping up to me because, one, because of the score, and 2, But the way the game was going, it did feel like Penn State had at least a little bit of an upper hand before everything went to shit for Utah.
Maybe like 52%.
Maybe
I didn't see it that way. I didn't.
55, maybe. Utah was able to grind some yardage out there on the ground, and then obviously Rising was getting his on the QB scrambles. So Penn State's given up those types of that type of yardage to a mobile quarterback before and adjusted, and I think I had confidence that they were going to do the same. You saw a lot of the same in that Auburn game and throughout the year, but Penn State made good adjustments. So I wasn't all too concerned about it, and obviously those concerns went completely away when he went completely away. But again, a nice satisfying victory. I'm glad I didn't have to sit through another classic like the 2017 Rose Bowl that I had to sit through in person. And it was good to have a nice satisfying victory. Hopped on the red eye on the way back, exhausted, fell right asleep, and woke up in sunny New Jersey a couple hours later.
Nothing better than a red eye from the West Coast.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, there's better things, but all things considered, much rather take the red eye. Nice.
Oh, yeah. And then we go back in time a little bit. Playoff games. Playoffs?
Yeah. Back in time, 2 days. I think, obviously, two classics in their own ways. Just I'm doing a podcast. We've been talking for the last hour between production meetings.
She must have been busy.
Sweet Marie. Anyway, as I was saying, two classics in their own right. Different ways. You got Michigan, I think, undoubtedly blowing it. I certainly heard counter arguments leading up to Monday night's events. That TCU, was not necessarily the benefactor of Michigan spitting up on themselves 4 times over.
Gross.
I didn't see it that way.
They forced the mistakes. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah. That's what other people were thinking. I mean, the play call on the first drive, terrible. The weird review and then fumble luck. 2 pick sixes. Just, I don't know.
I mean, TCU.
Credit to TCU, they did beat them fair and square, though. I mean, that's
Michigan. I mean, first play with 50 yards with the gut, and then that 4th and 2 play, that reverse, stupid. Yeah, the butt and then fumble.
Yep.
I mean, Michigan's defense, TCU was just big play sitting them.
Oh, yeah.
Michigan would get within 5 twice, and TCU 75-yard touchdown next play.
Yep. Yeah, that long 3rd down conversion that went for a touchdown was it was amazing how much of the field was left uncovered. And I don't remember the actual play, if it was, I obviously remember the catch and run, but if that was his initial look or not, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But it was baffling that there would be that much open field after one defender, maybe 2. It was pretty wild. And then, the weird ending with the targeting review kind of was, not that it was going to really matter, I don't think, but I guess in that game, who knows? But it was a weird ending as well. So I don't know what that means for Michigan, not to say they would have won the national championship, so maybe you can get to sleep with that thought in mind, but
you think it would have been closer than last year had they gotten to Georgia?
I don't know, man. I think because I think it's totally in reaction to the game
that we just saw.
talk about now.
Yeah.
No, like in the how close Georgia and Ohio State. Like I probably would have taken TCU had Georgia won by 3 touchdowns against Ohio State. It's just that natural buy low, sell high.
Right.
But I don't think you get that performance out of Georgia without the skin of their teeth, which maybe I'm drinking too much of the Ohio water, but I think that was what got him over the hump was just Ohio State had one too many injuries throughout the game. Not that Georgia, they lost the Big O, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was how I guess Ohio State wasn't able to make one more play or two earlier in the fourth quarter than before, C.J. Stroud took it upon himself. Really, I mean, you wonder because I'm not, I think he'll have a decent career in the NFL. You wonder if this kind of has the same bump for him, that performance that Sam Darnold rode all the way up.
But Darnold had a whole second year. Darnold had a whole another year after.
I know. But I'm wondering if he's going to get a bump because of that singular performance.
Oh.
That, again, it was like, because Sam Darnold, he wasn't, I think USC certainly had playoff aspirations that second year. And they fell short of it. And I think that's something to keep an eye on. We'll say that about C.J. Stroud. Great game from him. Just only one game, though, is what I'll say. To the Colts or whoever else is going to end up taking him. Or Houston or the Bears.
Houston's not taking him with the number 1 pick, that's for sure.
Yeah, it'd be pretty hilarious if
they go from
if the Bears went from Fields
to Stroud. That'd be good. That'd be funny.
It would be a modern day Bears type move, I feel like. They can't seem to get out of their own way. Anyway, I'll let you guys actually give your thoughts.
But was Lovey a double agent for his beloved Bears? He was doing it for his
possibly was
past and always once and always employer of the Bears.
Yeah, an all timer. Him and Lovey in the giraffe neck. Just
2 4th and 10s. 2 4th and 10s to make it.
What was a 4th and 20?
Oh yeah.
When the
2 4th and 10 pluses.
Yeah. I was thinking it was 24-14, right? And I thought somebody rang the bat phone because immediately Davis threw the pick 6 for the Colts to cut it to 3. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys shake out. I think Ohio State 2. I just saw they lost it. They had another offensive lineman declared for the NFL draft. So it'll be an interesting stretch here for them, while still being completely spoiled with
everything.
With everything.
That was a great game. Both of them were great games. We haven't had back-to-back semis that good ever.
Right.
And naturally, we followed that up with a dud in the final. Mm-hmm. I don't think we really need to rehash that one too much. But
no.
Do you guys agree with me that you don't get that Georgia performance without the scare?
Yeah, I think
they were immediately saying how bad they suck, basically, after which.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you definitely don't get the 65-7, but yeah, I think you probably still get like a 35-14 or 42-14. Yeah. But I do definitely think that, not that they needed waking up for the national championship, but they're just like, we got through that gauntlet. Now we got these little shits. We'll take care of business here.
Yep. And I think, the bucket of cold water coming on, which you would think came on them, certainly after Missouri, as we talked about. But I think that definitely helped. And they didn't really. It was perfect the other night. So much to my chagrin, by the way. That was as I was saying to a couple people in the aftermath, and then the last couple of days. That is an example of the bad, in my opinion, the bad dumb that comes with college football. It's like, of course, Georgia's got like you think. Then they talk about what makes me want to hurl, which I had to turn it off and put on. God only knows what I put on after. not coverage of that game. I'm talking about like they're working the weight room and all that shit. Like you think Syracuse players don't lift also? It's because you have all these good guys. That's what it is. Don't try and, pull the wool over the eyes of, people. They're never going to say that. Although Beamer, oddly enough, Shane Beamer's the only one who's like, what do you expect? They have all 5 stars a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I'm ready to throw up every time I hear one of those guys say, they all doubted us.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, yeah, that's another good one. Dabo's
You guys
the king of
are
that.
ranked number 1 for like 15 straight weeks. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're just so stupid. You can't realize it.
It's the whole Jordan thing, right?
They said
Jordan would just make up things in their mind.
7-5, 6-6.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. So, yeah, but that's that's just a reminder. I said, what did I say to you and Rod? I think I was like, well, finally reached a conclusion. I'm in a win-win situation with whatever outcome of this game happens. I was like, I can't stand this TCU team, so if they get spanked, then I'll something. I didn't enjoy that obviously, but that would have been fine with that. And then if TCU had won, that would have shoved the blue chip ratio in Bud Elliott singularly.
Yeah.
After however long he's been doing it, 7 or 8 years. And I think I've ranted about that on here before, but yeah, it's mainly just what they try and include into the blue chip ratio is what irritates me. Like Auburn was a blue chip ratio team this year.
Well, I think any
like it's some special club.
Yeah.
It's a very convenient, apparatus for teams that really just are, run of the mill.
Well, there's teams that, and that's the thing with Auburn, right? Is people would say if they have competent coaching, they should be up there with the rest of these teams.
Right. Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, only it's like baseball. It's the same thing. It's actually worse than baseball because of how physical the game is. Like you could have we did have what the Royals win it. Small market team, Cardinals, mid-tier. But I don't want to get too far on a tangent. Otherwise, I won't shut up about it the whole night. But it's definitely the part that I can't stand about the game. Or the sport of college football. Because it just comes down to how many people watch your games.
All right. And that's a wrap on another season.
Think so.
We did it. We are, what is that, 8 years now we've done it? We've been doing this?
So we've had it's the 2015 first full season, 15, 16,
14 was 14
8
was
full
a
season.
Wow. We did it.
And then
Good job,
eight
guys.
and a quarter. We started in
8 and a quarter.
November of 2014, I believe.
Yeah. Anyway, you wanna hit some Cell news, didn't you?
Well, I mean, I think just the main thing I wanted to mention was our favorite yearly Cell topic, our Boulder.
Our Boulder.
Yes.
It's that time of year,
Oh yeah.
and he did just take it. He did just have an interview.
He's got
Yeah,
some
that-
cleavage showing, of course. Yes.
He had the virtual interview.
I don't know, Ken. Have you read any board stuff or rumors? Just me being oblivious to everything. I think he goes.
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
think he's gone.
Why not? Like,
There's so many openings right now.
there's so many things. He is a proven, just fantastic coach.
Yep.
Go.
Well, that's
go-
that's the question that people bring up is yes, he's a fantastic coach. Yes, he's won in the NFL before, but can he win in today's NFL is the question.
Let's
with
find
the-
out.
I would say yes. Yeah.
I also would say yes. You got guys that are quote unquote for today's NFL and Cliff Kingsbury, people like that aren't working. So why not go back to somebody that has actually won, right?
I hope he goes to the league. I won't say root for him, but I won't be rooting against him.
I hope he goes to the league also. I think.
Well,
I think I want him to leave.
Who would go to Michigan then?
That would be the good question.
Everybody back?
We're back. We've been here.
Yeah,
I know. That's me.
we
Yeah, terrible internet.
We
Internet
think-
improvements coming in the off season.
we think he's going to the league. Can thinks he wants him to go to the league, but we don't know who is next up in
Yeah.
Ann Arbor.
True. Remember, it's transformational, not transactional. Whoever goes there.
Transsexual.
Transsexual. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't go, but maybe he's got the.
What's the best job? Is the best
In the
job?
NFL?
Is it
Is it-
Arizona?
I would say, is it Carolina?
I would say that would be my Carolina, yeah. Because, which is crazy.
But there's no way they go
Even
to
a
another
week-
college coach, even if it is
Even a-
Harbaugh.
Even
They
a
could
month
hold-
ago, I would say the Broncos
I
when
just
they weren't
I,
open.
I just
But
I don't mind the Broncos, but I just think you're so handcuffed by that contract.
right,
I think Carolina has a sick defense, an identity, a run game, and O line, and they
in the
expire-
division,
and they have an expiring QB contract.
In the division, yeah, the division.
You can just you can
Tom Brady's
draft.
going to Vegas.
So Harbaugh could just draft one of those like rookie QBs, build a roster for a few years. I would say, yeah, I think Carolina's a pretty appetizing spot for somebody.
Yep.
Like you said with the division. I mean, Jameis and Dalton, Brady, a dinosaur, and who's the other one? Oh, Desmond Rutter.
Oh my gosh,
Desmond Rutter.
Shiver me
list.
Ritter.
Yeah,
Thank goodness. I mean, and not to hijack it with Kenny Pickett talk, but thank goodness for these other quarterbacks sucking as bad as they do that
Yeah.
came into that class.
Pickett's looking amazing compared to like, Malik Willis. Desmond
That's
Ridder.
yeah. That thank goodness, because I was worried like, okay, 9-8, 10-7, whatever. I don't know how much higher their ceiling is going to get, just because that defense is going to start taking a little bit of a dip sooner rather than later. But thank goodness, because there's no what if we had taken Malik Willis? Like Tomlin
Well,
said, he
Pickett-
loved him.
Pickett's sitting what? He's probably P2 in the rookie QB ranking. Behind Purdy.
Wah. Yeah, Purdy, this run is amazing. I'm not gonna say it's gonna come to an end Saturday, but I'm ready for some stinkage.
You're right.
Everybody is waiting for that shoe to drop. I guess you could argue it, but it wasn't his fault. The defense just soiled themselves against the Raiders a couple weeks ago.
No, I did not pass along, but I don't know. Did you see that Baltimore got the 7.5 today?
Yeah, that can't be good for Lamar's prognosis.
No,
Um,
he's out, but I took a piece. I think that I trust that defense.
But he's officially out.
He didn't practice again today. There's no way he's playing.
What a bizarre situation there.
And Huntley didn't throw today because of his tendonitis. He's not going to throw a pass until Sunday night.
Yeah, I was thinking about making some grand declaration like Joe Burrow's never going to actually win a Super Bowl. He's to be like the modern day, the Marino 2.0.
I would not be
Yeah,
surprised.
I don't know, man.
I would not be surprised if Baltimore goes in there and wins Sunday night.
Yep, I could see it.
I guess before we go, who's going to the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl. Ah, man. I just can't do it with Purdy. I want to pick him so bad. I
Philly.
just can't do it.
Dave. Oh, we talked through with Dave. Right now, this is sitting at his second best sports year of all time. This year, next to 2017 with the Super Bowl for his Eagles, and
Right.
then a Fiesta Bowl win.
Penn
for
State, yeah.
Penn State, and then Phillies were ass. This year, he's got Phillies in the World Series. Penn State with the
How
Rose
is this not better?
And well, he said it could get better. He says if the Eagles make it to the NFC Championship game, then it will be better than 2017.
You do have to heavily weight that Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, you get multipliers with championships.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
you
that
get
Super Bowl
heavy
was amazing.
multipliers.
There's no way this year can beat 2017 unless the Eagles win.
Unless the Eagles win it. Yeah.
If you go to the NFC Championship game, what is that? No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how
I
that
think
would be good enough to get to number one. Well,
That was an epic Super Bowl. Yeah.
What a terrible
also,
game.
he's been to the NFC Championship 4 years in a row or something like that.
Yeah, with
back in the
McNabb.
early 2000s.
Yeah, McNabb finally got their.
Does he hang like NFC finalist banners or something?
We had a long talk with him about this.
The Phillies being ass that's obviously the biggest disparity.
the big albatross is the albatross.
Yeah.
Way in the but we had a long discussion about this with him walking to the Palestra, walking in Philly the other day, walking through Little Italy, retracing Rocky's steps as he was training.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to make picks here, though. We can't run us off the whole game away.
We do.
All right.
I'll go. Oh, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm still doing
I'll take the Eagles. I'll take the
You might be
Eagles
all
out.
night.
I'll take Eagles out of the NFC, and I will take. I'll take the Bills, Mafia, and I'll still take the Chiefs. I'll still take the Chiefs out of the AFC.
matching ones.
The Super Bowl, Stephen's Super Bowl, a battle for Stephen. Stephen divided.
I'm going with Chiefs over. Look, Bill's story is awesome, but look at their last month or so.
Over that, yeah.
Not last 6-8 weeks
Yeah.
hasn't been the same Bills. Chiefs over Niners.
That'd be good. I'd sign up for that.
Niners rematch. Okay.
I would love to see
Because you guys know I love the stationary targets. Like if the Chiefs are just the stationary target.
they're fantastic. Is someone gonna take a flyer here on maybe the Jags? I don't know.
Somehow, but I can't get there.
What if the Jags go through the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Bills, and then the Eagles? That'd be amazing.
I would love that actually. I think I might go. Okay. See, this is the problem. Yeah, usually I require to pace for like an hour and a half. Let me look at the bracket one more time here.
Yeah.
Trying to get us to an hour. No, I'm kidding. All right, I will go.
I mean, Dolphins are in trouble. Quarterback.
Oh, the Dolphins are done.
You kidding? Cheetah says they're going to make some noise in the playoffs.
Who wins the? I'll give you a few seconds. Who wins the Vikings Giants game?
Oh, let's go, Gents.
I don't see why they don't. I mean,
They lost on a 60-something yard field goal the first time around, right?
I mean, both teams are
I
bad.
love the Jets. They're my favorite team, especially with the Jets.
Actually,
Dude, I
that's
think you just love any nasty New York team. You're in.
that.
Yeah, I loved your Knicks team the
Plus
couple
yard
years
field goal by Joseph helped me advance in the sim pool, Dan.
Wait, so what happened with fantasy games fantasy leagues this year?
It was all up. Every league I know came down to a league personal decision.
Oh. So would they go by like points during the season or what?
The two championships I was in, the one we just split 50-50. I was down 20 with Josh Allen.
Oh, that's good. That's good for you.
I would have won.
You think so?
Yeah, this is the Vampire League where scoring was higher in that league, but I was fine with it. Whatever. In the other league, it was like a 2-week final, and the guy and I were fighting for second and third, and he had the Bills defense, and I had Josh Allen. He was up by like 4. He's like, "You probably would have beat me, but we're gonna split."
Probably.
I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right, but it's fine."
Oh my gosh, this Brock Purdy, this is just.
Do it, Vince.
Niners.
Do it, Vince.
Do it, Vince. Shout
you-
out to his family.
do you think-
Niners.
do you
Niners
think
over
that-
Bills. I'll do it.
Use Brock Purdy.
Purdy.
I got to do it. I can't. Well, I'm
What
going
is
to fight
what
it
are
this
odds
week.
for that? What are odds for Purdy and Co?
They're 5-1.
5-1.
Do you think the winner of Cowboys Bucks can, cause any stir?
I didn't really consider that.
Because I think the Bucks are DOA, but I do think despite the stinker last week, the Cowboys can
Again, the defense, just I don't know what's going
at
on.
least get it going for like 2 games. I'm not saying they're gonna run four off here, but
Kim, what are the boards saying about Nick Bosa just completely snaking Mackay for Defensive Player of the Year?
What are they saying? Well, he wasn't even on that whatever All-Pro voting or whatever. But Makai, what do you have? Like only like a sack the last 6 weeks or 6 games?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened.
I don't know.
Chiefs to beat the Niners 13-1. Okay, I'll play that. What'd you say, Dan? Bills over Niners.
Niners over Bills.
Niners over Bills is 17-1. And Ken had Chiefs over Eagles 11-1.
Chefs over Eagles.
I guess I'll leave it with this. I played McCaffrey, and I parlayed it with Kenny Walker as far as comeback player of the year, and
Yes.
rookie of the year. If Geno Smith beats McCaffrey for comeback player of the year, I'm gonna be pissed.
What is he coming back from?
Exactly, but he was
Sucking.
he was
I'm saying, was he ever here?
he was slightly favored over McCaffrey, but Geno did not have a good week 18, but he made the playoffs. But McCaffrey had a good week 18. And then rookie of the year, Kenny Walker was okay, but Purdy was charging hard.
Let's leave on this. Would you, if it happens the way I say it happens, the Chefs over the Eagles, the Eagles make it to the Super Bowl, would you wait 2 championship performances and a Rose Bowl win? Would you rate that higher than a Super Bowl win and a Fiesta Bowl win, but a Phillies ass?
No,
Okay.
That Super Bowl was so epic, man. That is an all-timer. And I mean, that's a top 3 Super Bowl of all time.
Wow, really? You think?
that game was awesome.
That game was so incredible.
You did it with a backup QB.
Yeah.
Now, I hope he doesn't hear
Against-
this because I make the joke.
against
all the
Tom
time.
Brady
He,
and the Patriots.
mortgaged his whole life for that Super Bowl. a lot of stress went into that.
Beating like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl in that fashion is just, oh man, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to let that marinate. We'll talk about it when we do the tournament. And nobody will care. Well, I guess we'll have more clarity too on the Eagles. I'm still pissed off. I'm so mad. Not the $700. It's the title by a half point. Did you end up winning the Super Contest, AY, or did Wes?
Wes won.
Son of
He won by a point and a half. We both
a.
we both went 4-1 the last week.
Yep, that's tough.
I
I lost by half a point.
I tied Roadman for second. In
No, that
Super
sucks.
Contest. 'Cause I had we both went 4-1. I had the Colts minus 2.5,
Oh no.
and he had the Packers at night. And I doubled down with the Lions to win Sim. And
Right,
they-
AY did take home the title. Cam, we buried the lead for 59 minutes and 23 seconds. AY,
Congrats.
the
Shout out
first
to
to land a Cimarelli title on the podcast.
Shout out to his family.
Yeah,
yes,
amazing, and it's all because I did not say anything the last 2 weeks.
He didn't say. I was one.
I
of the
told
few-
he said, should I take what was it on that Wednesday or Thursday before Christmas? He said, should I go Eagles +4 -2 against the Cowboys, or what was your other choice? Whatever.
It was either Eagles or Cowboys. I had to pick one of those two.
Oh, okay, yeah. And
'Cause
I
I was
said
saving,
do
I was saving the
Eagles.
Cowboys for the next week against the Titans. Then I knew I'd have to pick Bills or Bengals that week.
Yep.
But while I saved the good teams for the end, I didn't realize they played each other in the end.
Yeah, that was. I had a crazy, and it was after I said the line of demarcation for that. I was ranting about any imbecile that didn't take the Jaguars against the Chargers in Week 4. Said everybody is stupid who did not take them.
That's
And
what-
AY and I were the only two who doubled down. Maybe Cimarelli did too. I can't remember.
I think
But-
he
From that point
Yeah.
forward, I did not get a single break. Not that every pick was perfect to begin with, but when I needed it, I just the biggest one, the death knell, was Chargers on Sunday night against the Chiefs. That comeback, because I had to double down on the Chargers
Mhm.
when they got snaked at the wire by Mahomie. That was because I had 3 or 4 that were rough. But that's the NFL.
That is the NFL. I'm running out of batteries here. And
Okay.
freezing, but
Mission accomplished. I got us to an hour.
you did it.
good work. We're back. At the latest March Madness. We'll see what happens between there.
Yeah.
But for now, thank you. What a year 2022 in the book for me. Anyway, USA Cowboys, Commonwealth, Pennsylvania, to my west, Eberg,
Good night, all.
and to my east.
Thank you for another great season, guys.
Good. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in a couple months. Happy off season. Have a good one.